Hey guys, Travis here on the day 6 of the World Championship group stage out of the LA studio, joined by Cyanide of Fnatic, who is now guaranteed to make it into Worlds past the group stage. Cyanide, you just had a hard-fought battle against Mineski. How was that game for you?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Like, they didn't take it so serious in the picks. Like, we didn't mean to troll or anything, but it kind of went the funny way. So we weren't like, we were just having fun pretty much there.
So the decision to throw Soaz on Blitzcrank, it wasn't like let's have a little bit more fun. That was, you would have done that against any team?
Not against any team. I think if it was a really serious match, we wouldn't have done it. Mostly, I don't think it's bad, but we didn't really practice it that much.
Right, exactly. So you just felt like it was something that you could pull out specifically against Mineski. What did you think of, what was going through your mind as you saw their picks coming in?
Yeah, at first I wasn't paying too much attention. Like, we were talking about something else, and then I noticed, like, wait, they have 4 supports and Ryers, and I was kind of confused. But then I was like, yeah, it doesn't really matter for them if they win or lose anyway. So they just tried to cheese us pretty much.
Yeah. And how did you go into the game and you're like, let's just play the standard, or were you like, all right, how are we going to counter this really weird, cheesy support comp?
We weren't really thinking about it too much. Like, we had a really very relaxed mood. Like, normally in these group stage games, we were always really serious and trying to win, and we were talking a lot, but we were just having some fun, laughing it off. But they actually managed to take us some turrets from us early, right. And we were a bit like, oh, this might actually be a bit closer. But yeah, their setup was just too weak for mid game, late game.
All right, so obviously you guys are going into the playoff stage. The bracket stage? What team are you most confident against, and that you would feel most confident going up against, and which team would you feel the least confident going up against?
It's a bit hard to say. Like, I think probably Najim Sword and Royal are the 2 hardest ones, and Cloud9 and Gamma Bears are probably the 2 easiest ones. But I'm not sure at all. It might be completely reverse even, but that's like what I've heard at least. So yeah, I would prefer to waste Cloud9 or Gamma Bears.
So you're not crossing your fingers when you go up there and figure out which team you're going to be playing against. It's just going to be like, okay, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, mostly that, and yeah.
So what has your experience been like in LA? I mean, obviously you've been scrimming and practicing a lot, but have you gotten to go out and do anything cool, or what's been going on with Fnatic?
We've been pretty lazy, so we're just mostly practicing and doing whatever on the PCs. So yeah, we practice really hard, and we haven't done really anything fun yet. Maybe later.
Okay. And so now, what happens after today for you guys?
We're just gonna scrim hard and try to win the quarters.
Do you think that you'll do, assuming that you guys find out, I believe you find out at the end of today who you face, do you plan on like spending a lot of time researching that team, or do you just sort of plan on going back and scrimming and sort of saying, well, we'll figure it out whenever we get in game?
Well, we will research for sure, and we will talk about it, and we will practice picks according to that probably. But yeah, it's really hard to figure out these teams because obviously we haven't played them as much, and we haven't seen anything from them because they didn't play in the group, so it's going to be a bit tough. Like, it's going to be easier for them to research us, but it might be our advantage as well that we are kind of warm now from the groups and we are ready to play, and they are just coming, and it's going to be their like first offline event in a while.
So is it almost like a trade-off where you don't get to have the knowledge on their team, but you feel like you'll come in with a little bit more experience and a little bit more strength coming from the group stage?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so, other than that, is there, I've been trying to talk to a lot of people that I've been interviewing to sort of get an idea of if there have been any teams that have surprised them coming out of the group stage, like any teams that have done very well or any teams that sort of failed to meet their expectations. So for you, do you think that there are any teams in the group stage that are doing really well beyond what you had expected from them, or any that are sort of failing to meet your expectations?
Oh, well, we didn't know much about OMG and SKT, so obviously they are going through from the other group. So it wasn't really a surprise. But mostly I'm surprised about us. I think like we went in really like flying, so I didn't think we would do so good.
So why do you think that you've done so well? Is it that you guys are performing above what your expectations were, or is it that other teams just haven't proved as much of a challenge as you had already expected?
Yeah, well, Ozone was supposed to be a really tough opponent, and they didn't exactly do their best, I think, this tournament, so far at least. So it was a bit of a surprise there.
Okay. And other than that, everything else has sort of played out as expected?
Oh, yeah, I expected that we would beat Gambit and Vulcan probably and Mineski.
Gambit and Fnatic seems to be like an interesting story just because it seems like you guys have their numbers so much. I've talked to, a couple of the members of your team and theirs, but I'd love to get your perspective on why it seems to be that you guys do so well against Gambit repeatedly.
I really have no answer for that. I'm not sure. I think we are just maybe a bit better, and we plan out the picks and bans more, and we all the time we just out pick and ban them, and then normally we outplay them as well.
So do you think it comes down to the picks and bans more, or do you think it's like just maybe a playstyle clash where maybe your playstyle is sort of like the scissors to their paper?
Yeah, might be.
Anything that you want to say here at the end of the interview to any of your fans or anybody watching?
Yeah, just thanks to all supporting us, especially all the European fans who are watching, even though the times are completely ridiculous. So yeah, just keep watching us, and I hope we will not disappoint you in the quarterfinals.
Very good. Well, congratulations on your success so far. Looking forward to seeing what happens with you guys in the quarterfinals. You can check out the rest of our coverage of the quarterfinals, the group stages, and everything beyond at GameSpot.com/esports.